what we'd like to set up with you is that all of you are political activists, and you are working for us to drive through a new law that we're trying to enact in the government. We are acting as the U.S. Public Health and Safety Commission. And we're developing a new program to interact with the overall general public and total population of the United States. So in the world today of 2030, we have seen obesity affect 70% of the total population. 50% of all cancers are linked to obesity, mostly from eating protein bars. Proteins and foods are slowly becoming outlawed. Processed foods, excuse me. Government subsidies have been enacted for all healthy food to drive the usage and consumption of healthy foods in a more prevalent manner. As well, the government has invested in systems that will aid in health nutrition and cause a decrease in obesity. This will help us as a society overall, but more specifically, our country in reducing overall debt due to issues in health and care. Our solution is a new device called the Color Band, which will interact with users on a daily, consistent basis.
Fantastic. And we developed this very innovative offering. The product specifications are essentially that it's tracking and evaluating diet and food consumption as it's related to wellness and health. And the nutrition standards that have been set forth were set forth by the USDA. What it does is it creates a health rating that's indicated by the color of the band, and Anita will go into that in a moment. It analyzes every bite and sip that you consume, or that an individual consumes. It reads the biometric data through the sensor, which means that it measures BMI, the blood pressure, and glucose levels, as well as shares data on the heart density and oxygen in the bloodstream. So it's quite advanced, and it'll do more things over time. And it also has a gamification component to it. So it shows progress towards goals, and it compares data against others. So maybe your friends or other individuals that you'd like to see. And we really do estimate that there's going to be a drop in overall BMI indexes by over 14% nationally in the first year, which means that our 70% obesity will decrease. So why should citizens opt in to wear this color band? Obviously there's health aspects and implications, but what other incentives are there? Well, we're going to be offering universal health care benefits if you wear this band. There's also going to be a tax incentive. We know that this is ultimately helping the government, but we also want to help the citizens. So there will be better health and wellness. We really predict that there will be increased energy and a longer lifespan for individuals, but lower healthcare costs. So the launch will begin in the state of California, and it'll be followed by New York, Atlanta, Chicago, and then the United States.
So as Anna said, the color band is an indicator, and where you want to be when it registers as positive is the bright green color, which is the desired state that you want to be. Solid gray is your resting state. The blue indicates that your body needs water. The red signifies an overall lack of health, and the purple means you're down on calories, and then your body is burning muscle. As a disclosure, this band does not remove hunger pains. It's really just an indicator, and it sets up barriers for the citizens that are wearing them. Additional indicators. So the red band, as I said, is you're kind of where you're in a violation of the color band, and it limits the purchase of any food and your limitations to food establishments. So it sets barriers for citizens that you cannot eat at these places until your health is back in a proper place. A black is kind of where the ends meet, right? So it indicates a non-functionality. It will begin decommissioning the program. Therefore, your health benefits will stop, and so it is in your best interest to really work on your health. So we started a pilot test where we surveyed over 1,000 individuals in cities all over California, where we have live, where these people have tested the color band and have positive and real world stories, and we're going to show them to you now.
And you know that is that it's programmed perfectly. If I was a 185-pound male whose body runs on carbohydrates, but unfortunately my body runs best on ketones. I follow a ketogenic diet, meaning that my diet mainly consists of fats and proteins. And I do this because my mother's side of the family has a genetic predisposition towards cancer, and my father's side of the family has a genetic predisposition towards diabetes. The majority of cancer cells feed on glucose, and diabetes is the body's inability to process glucose properly. So I just avoid glucose altogether and go on ketones. But unfortunately, because of the banned settings, I'm essentially starving to death. I can eat 100 grams of protein and roughly 44 grams of fat per day, according to your guidelines, and that's only about 800 calories a day. Nobody can exist on 800 calories a day. Before the ban, I would say that my blood pressure was perfect, my cholesterol was perfect. I consider myself pretty strong, pretty lean, and completely healthy. But 800 calories a day, I could just crawl up and die.
And they wouldn't sell it to me. I mean, yes, again, I know this is working. I know this is good for me, but like, man, like I just want an M&M. You know, can I just get the M? Is this like half the M&M something? You know, can I just have a little bit of a reward for all the success? I don't know. It's you know, I went to the vending machine to get a candy bar, and that thing blocked me because it knew my watch was right. So I don't know where the balance is between me doing really well with this thing and, you know, being rewarded and being a human, for goodness sakes, and wanting to have a little bit of something to enjoy in life. So, you know, yeah, I get it. Everybody's telling me you look great. You know, you're losing weight. Oh, you look better than you ever have. I've never seen you like this. But yeah, it's like, you know, that's not what makes me feel good anymore. What makes me feel good is if I had a date with the pizza girl at the pizza shop, and that's a two birds with one stone because she can hook me up with pizza. So I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, yes, awesome, 63 pounds gone. Like 5 years ago, I would have loved that, but now it's like 63 pounds at what cost? So this is me signing out. Success, but struggling.
About 8 months ago, I was diagnosed as a diabetic. And let me tell you, it was one of the hardest things I ever had to deal with in my life. And it was not just about how to manage myself day to day, but especially the cost involved for the whole treatment. Like, I calculated, and every year I would be paying $13,700, and it was just for my meds and other treatment. I don't have that much of money. I can't afford it. But luckily, my doctor then told me about this amazing new wearable technology called Fitbit Color Band, which if I followed, the state would give me a subsidy of 60% to cover the whole cost. Like, isn't it great? And not only that, but this band has added benefits. Like it will manage my insulin level, tell me when I need to eat, and alert my friends and family if my insulin level goes dangerously low. Like, this band has been a lifesaver for me. And I feel like since it has come into my life, I'm more relaxed and I feel more confident about this whole situation and issue, and feel like I think I can handle this disease.
I really did enjoy my band. I've always been a healthy person, and I like knowing what I'm eating, where it's going, how it's impacting me. So for me, the band is awesome. I like to know that everything's aligned, that I'm doing in my life. But I must say, it's introduced a new challenge into my life with dating. Dating is already so complicated. You're worrying about, do we have chemistry? Are we compatible? Do we value the same things? And now we're on a date and I'm looking at his wrist to see if he's green or not. And there's also this challenge of, what if on the first date he has green and he's all lit up and I'm loving it, and then we go out a few more times and something's changed in his life. and he's no longer healthy. How's that going to impact us and our future and the life that we have together? So I guess in the end, I really am enjoying the band for myself, but I just don't know that I want a new technology ruling my life, a whole other factor to be considering when I'm thinking about my own health and the health of my future partner.
Thank you for listening to that. All right.
So one of the things that we need to drive here is that the ban is not in any way perfect. However, we want to engage with the community and drive through the law that everyone will adopt this technology. And that's where we need your support.
Great. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to have a strategic conversation with you, because you're lobbyists, and ultimately you have to drive support for this ban. And so we wanted to empower you with the right conversations and the talking points in order to do so. But before we do that, we need to obviously have a very transparent conversation about all of this. So we wanted to just start off with a few questions and then see where our conversation goes today. So the first one is, do the concerns outweigh the positive effects? So for instance, the data that's being held, the privacy concerns and whatnot. So maybe we can start off by just quickly talking about pros and cons of this thing as it relates to the citizens of the US. Rachel?
I'm concerned about like something the first user tester brought up, which is that I can't set what's best for my own body if it's being controlled by some central system. So I'm concerned about like the inflexibility of the system.
Yeah, I'm wondering why if like the thing can sort of detect different indicators about my health, why couldn't it also detect like the way that my body processes things the best and recommend a diet that is tailored to my body's best functioning?
That's a really good point.
The guy who brought up the thing about dating the pizza girl, I thought was interesting because like this could produce some whole type of like microculture of like scavengers. Well, like people that are like, you know, like a black market, or people that are just like going around and like trying to find alternative sources of food off of the grid and like not in like traditional places where they would buy stuff, or like bribing other people to give them like pizza and stuff.
Sure, the things that are 0 calorie that could cheat the system, but you're actually getting like 0 calorie Cheetos.
Yeah, I could like turn purple, but I'm still like getting food through with like alternative channels.
Yeah, black market.
Can it be hacked by people who might ultimately have malicious intentions, like, you know, setting you up to eat things that would actually be bad for you? You know, that may not be obviously bad, but ultimately bad for you. You know, and how much can we not, you know, how much can we go against whatever is recommended? You know what I mean?
Right, that's a good point. So you're basically saying, like, if someone were to, like, if I like really wanted someone to like gain weight instead of be skinny, I could like hack it and be like, oh yeah, you need to eat a lot of butter or something.
Yeah, something like that, where, you know.
Okay. Might happen in high school. I'm
Yeah.
not sure about after that, but I think that's a good point.
I mean, there are people who will do things now,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, David?
I think the challenge is that there's so many contributing factors to overall health, not just diet and nutrition. So I feel like you could essentially game the system and say, like, if you're not eating for a specific reason because there's something mentally not correct with you at that moment, it might alter like your state on your band, so how do you impact the situation?
I really appreciate the fact that it has that notification as a lifesaver that the user brought up. I think that is really like awesome. If the levels go down, it could save lives by notification.
I like the whole idea. I'm just curious about who's your target customer?
Everyone.
Everyone?
We want the most adoption as we can possibly have, because one of the biggest drivers of debt today in the country is due to uninsured health patients. So if the entire country isn't able to be more healthy, and don't get me wrong, we know that we're working with the settings and the analysis of each person, but if we can get adoption at a large rate here, and if we can only impact 40% of the total populace and make all of those people healthy, that's a dramatic savings for the country overall, that we can reapply those funds to different departments.
I do like that trying to get more people healthier, but I think it might be a good opportunity if you could do like targeting hospitals, like just giving the hospital rights to give it to a patient with certain diseases. I think it might be more effective rather than anything else. Maybe because some people, they are really care about dining, they might not need this, so.
A question, if someone who opts into the program, what are the consequences of taking it off?
They lose all their benefits.
They lose all their benefits.
They lose everything. And that's why Anita identified if your band goes black, it's non-functioning, and it instantly registers and starts declination of all your benefits.